vastly inferior. That simple fact is plainly obvious to see. We're gonna kick your collective posterior. Of course you realize we're speaking figuratively. Our stats are thoroughly impressive. Our coach really has the Midas touch. Our players are fast and strong and brave and
Can't jump on a guy's back.
This little guy here? Will Payton?
Okay, we're here. It's White Men Can't Pot. I'm your host, Ryan. It's episode 82. I'm here with one of my co-hosts. It's Mr. Bill Kerr.
That would be me.
I'm also here with a guy who was 38 minutes late to my birthday party. It's
Not
Mr.
me.
Wally Foley.
That is true. 38 minutes. 38 minutes.
Have I done that 38 times yet? That was your
That's
penance.
probably 4.
It's more than 4, hasn't it been?
Probably like 4. No, probably 4 or 5, yeah.
Wow, you got a long way to go. 33 more. All right, episode 82 is Wally's movie. It's Rebound.
Yeah.
An acclaimed college basketball coach is demoted to junior varsity team after a public meltdown. This isn't even right. It's not junior varsity. It's middle school, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
middle
like,
school. Middle school.
Not JV.
Because at one point they say, like, oh, what, you couldn't cut it on JV?
He was a college basketball coach that
Yes.
had his own team, and they kept referring to it as his team, like it was more like a professional league. That
I got the
confused
feeling it was
hell
like
out of me.
a Calipari or Coach K, where, like, he's out of school, but it's his program.
Okay.
Is the
But then the NCBA fires him, and then they
yes.
Yeah.
we'll get
It's
into it. We'll get into it.
But
Rebound.
Yeah.
Martin Lawerence.
how'd you see it?
Last night.
Thanks for doing
God,
that.
stayed up late on a Sunday to watch this.
Saturday,
trash.
some of Saturday, some of Sunday.
I wish I
and,
thought to do that.
Some of this morning.
Jesus, you took 3 tries
I
to
would
finish
have-
this?
I would have much
Listen.
preferred to watch this 12 minutes at a time.
Mother's Day weekend is it was a busy time.
It was a
That's fair.
it was a busy weekend.
Busy time.
I watched it yesterday. It was
It was correct.
is about
It exists.
all you can say. Yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah. This is
I think that's not a lot strong, but I think fair is a little too strong for this movie.
Also, this movie feels old, but it's 2005. We were in college, so God, we're old.
Yeah.
so it's not a TBS movie, but it's
Oh, it could have
some
been.
kind
It's a Disney movie. It's got beans in it.
yeah.
It's a Family Channel movie, whatever that was called.
Oh,
ABC Family.
Family.
It's an ABC Family.
Yes, that's what it was. Before what did that become? That became something else.
Yeah, it's got a weird name. It should just stay at ABC Family. Freeform. It became
It's
Freeform.
Freeform.
Oh,
Yeah.
Freeform
Oh.
is ABC Family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That is for
Yeah.
sure what this movie is. This is
It's a freeform movie.
for sure. But let's start with a budget game.
Oh my God.
What do you guys think the budget for this?
Well, you had Martin Lawrence.
Yep.
You had Cat Williams,
Cat Williams is in this movie.
which I did not
Technically.
realize at the time that it was him.
He's in it.
There was like who's this? But that's as far as at that point it was like, oh, it doesn't matter because finally this movie's over.
You got Megan Mullally.
Yep.
You got Patrick Warburton.
Yep.
Who else was it?
A lot of people.
You got Beans.
Beans is in it. Is the mom in this? Is she anybody?
I don't think so.
Wendy Raquel Robinson. Don't recognize her.
Don't know
Yeah.
that.
You know who's in this? You haven't mentioned Breckenmeyer.
Yes.
What's a Breckenmeyer?
He's from Road Trip.
Road Trip.
The main
Oh,
guy.
Breckenmeyer. Yeah.
And Horatio Sands. We didn't talk about him,
Yep.
but he's canceled now.
Yes. Why is he canceled?
Being a creep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wait. The one
He also
girl,
didn't do funny stuff.
Aaliyah from,
from
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. I was like, I know she looks
Yep.
familiar, and I
Yep.
couldn't
Who is she?
picture it.
The announcer girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's the cousin in Arrested Development.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
And Cat Williams, who
Maybe
played
okay.
Preacher Don's sidekick, but was
Uncredited.
no, he was credited, but he didn't have any speaking.
Preacher Don.
One of the funniest people ever. Fucking Cat Williams. That first Cat Williams is hilarious.
Yep.
The pimp's got a pimp.
Yeah.
And the weed, he's like, you smoking that, which I thought was so funny. You're smoking that dirt weed, which reminded me of our
dirt
growing
weed?
up, the
Yeah.
dirt weed of growing up. And he's like, and then you get that California weed, and then he's like, he could like make himself almost fall over, like lean on the stool. He's like, this is what you're like when you're on that California weed. He has no lines.
Yeah. You have Martin Lawrence playing the Cat Williams role, and then Cat Williams shows up later in the movie.
Well, that's probably some kind of joke because Martin Lawrence loves these little side characters.
Yeah.
He does.
But yeah, so what do you think
Oh, let's go on now.
what do you
The
think
budget?
the budget for this was?
Whoo-wee.
$5 million.
18 million.
Bill wins. It was a whopping $33.1 million.
How? For what?
Martin Lawrence, that's why.
It made $11 million.
Box office, Bill bets $11 million. Ryan?
17 million.
Woo-hoo-hoo! It made $17,492,014.
So you cheated.
Yes. Yes.
And
Celtics have
speaking
lost.
of the box office, let's go straight to an eBay war.
Oh, right
Straight
in.
to an eBay war.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got to pull this up. That's right.
Oh my god. This is hilarious.
Fountain Staff.
It's a movie ticket.
It is the Rebound movie ticket stub basketball film Martin Lawrence Hoops Coach 7305.
Student pricing.
Student pricing is
$6.50, which means that Bill, what do you think this is worth?
Well, it's clearly worth $6.50. It's right there.
Let me give you so the item description first, though. Ticket is a stub and was used for admission. Shows fading / creasing / wear. Same ticket as in the photo. Please check out my other tickets. Shipped with tracking via USPS.
What autograph's on the other side of this?
Nope.
Martin Lawrence didn't sign this ticket?
Nope.
Huh.
It is-
Cat Williams did.
It is just a ticket stub from a movie. From
Wow.
a movie theater.
And I have to go first, I assume?
I believe so. Actually, I didn't look at that.
I think you're up by
I hope-
4 or
I
something.
hope
like
that I have to go
You
first.
are probably up by a little bit. Yeah, you're up by 5.
Okay, well, the answer, it says it right there. The answer is this is worth $6.50.
Jeez, this is so difficult because it should be less. But it's not going to be, I don't think. So I'll say $7.50.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that dollar, you jerk.
All right. Well, technically, Ryan, you win. Do you? You're way under. Do you want to give?
Way under for this piece of shit?
Do you want to?
Are you kidding me? Why?
Another guess.
$138.15.
Okay, not that way under, but
50?
it is $35.74
Oh my god.
for an unsigned ticket stub of a movie that no one had heard of before
oh
we
my
made.
god.
Where is Fountain Stafford?
Not a clue.
Population game.
Yeah.
We get these random emails to our email that we never put out there anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they're like weird sales emails like get your podcast, blah 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 blah. It's like
Texas.
No thanks. And today I got one and it said, get your podcast better search results or something like that. And it was like 2 categories you show up in. One of them was sports,
Sure.
which makes sense. And the other one was bad autographs, which is a category we show up in, which is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
And we're like, I don't know, 500. We have a crazy low number in sports. But then bad autographs, and I guess what number we are?
Like 30.
13.
Wow.
In the nation in bad autographs, which is like, what are these other fucking 12 podcasts?
Ahead of us.
How are we not
Can
number
we look
one
that
in
up
bad
and start trying
autographs?
to knock them off one by one?
I think the number one thing you got to do is say bad autographs as many times as possible on the show.
There should be a bad autograph attached to this ticket stub.
Only
should
from
be.
now on. eBay wars are only bad autographs from now on. How about
No, because this was gold, so we don't want to limit ourselves. eBay war,
my
bad
God.
autographs, not memorabilia. Bad
Bad
autographs.
autographs.
I love it. Maybe we should
Now,
rename.
does bad autograph mean it's autograph, but it's done in a bad way? Does bad autograph mean it's an autograph that nobody wants?
I assume what nobody wants.
Like if Horatio Sands signed this ticket, that'd be a bad
yeah,
autograph.
Yeah, right. That would not be good. That would not be a good signature.
Yeah. So
That sales email was very effective, whoever you were.
Yeah.
I was very interested in getting our name out there for bad autographs. All right, Wally, you going to take us through Rebound?
yeah, let's go through this. So we start with a montage of Coach Roy, who is Martin Lawerence, talking about his career. He won 3 college championships, but he's kind of lost touch with, the whole actual coaching. He's more interested in his sponsorship deals. He's going to be late to his game because he's going to be late by he's going to show up at halftime because he's got a car dealership sponsor to go to. And his assistant coach just plays a tape recording of his speech.
Yeah, he straight up says, "I will see you at halftime."
Yeah. And don't be losing. Finally shows up, and it's the fourth quarter. He gets made fun of by the mascot, who's holding a live bird, live hawk, maybe. I will say, he gets unfairly tossed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
2 quick texts
he clearly has a history with this guy, though.
for really not really saying much. He's not losing his temper.
It's a kid's movie, so you can't
Yeah.
really say.
But he doesn't even yell. He just says, but gets unfairly tossed. And while he's getting basically dragged out by his assistant coaches, he kicks a basketball and it kills the bird. Kills the mascot.
He kills the bird.
Bird shouldn't have been standing there. I'll say it.
I mean, a bird shouldn't be in an arena. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Roy then gets banned from coaching in the NCBA by the vice president of the league. But Breckenmeyer, who seems to be his agent / manager
Slash lawyer. Yeah.
Breckenmeyer.
lawyer.
A different role for Breckenmeyer. He's usually the good guy, white meat babyface. And
That is
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
he's a bad guy in this.
He's pretty good as a jerk in it,
He's
too.
Slimeball. Yeah. Breckenmeyer says you can't do that. He needs basically a last chance before you're allowed to actually ban him for life. The vice president says fine, but it doesn't say that he has to get his last chance in my league.
And Breckenmeyer does not fight this at all.
Nope.
It's like, oh, okay.
Fair enough.
You loopholed my loophole.
So then we see Keith, who is
The main
the
kid.
main kid. He asks. He's at home. He's asked his mom if his dad is going to come to his game today. Now, honest to
Okay.
God,
Yes. Yes is the answer.
I thought that his dad was
Martin Lawerence.
Martin Lawerence.
So did I.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
3 for 3.
All right.
3 for 3, because the very next scene is her and the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Dad's not part of her life anymore. So he's about to become part of her life again.
yeah, that's exact. So when they finally meet, I'm like, how does he not recognize his son?
Yeah.
And then she walks in the gym,
And then
I'm
it's-
like,
yeah.
how does he not recognize her?
Until he started hitting on her, I was
Yeah.
like, ah.
And I'm like, oh, they're not ex-husband and ex-wife. Okay, all right, that's a different loophole than I was thinking it was going to be. Anyways,
You knew they were going to fall in love.
oh yeah, so she he leaves because she doesn't say anything quick enough. So she catches him outside before he bikes away, and she's like, he's not in our life anymore. You gotta kind of move past that. And he's like, if you're so smart, then how'd you end up with him? She doesn't answer. And then she comes up with the funny answer after he rides away.
I always come up with the good mom answer after he's gone.
Yeah. I thought that was actually a pretty good line.
That's not a bad line.
Yeah.
I agree.
Um,
I did not like the mom, though, other than that line. I thought her acting wasn't that great.
yeah.
Well, that's racist.
What? No, it's not.
So we get to school, and the team of 5 players is walking down the hallway while we get 2 kid announcers announcing who they are.
The
for us.
exposition.
The
Who are
exposition.
The
they?
exposition duo here.
The amount of media that cover this insignificant middle school team.
So I had one theory about this actually.
Okay.
He's on the cover of People magazine with
Not
this
that.
team.
But when we get the actual newspapers, they won again.
Yeah.
Is that these two girls writing the school newspaper, or is that a real newspaper?
I think those are real newspapers.
So
yeah.
then what are
Because
they
he's
recording
on
this
People
for?
magazine. They're recording it for no one.
They're recording it to get better at they're honing their skills for when they get to high school and actually get chances to do real announcing.
Okay. Plan ahead. That way they're not, when they become
I mean, they
adults, they're
seem
not-
like the
yeah.
type of the type of girls who would like plan ahead and like
They're
Actually have-
overachievers.
yeah. I think the one girl has a crush on Beans.
Yeah.
Yes,
oh,
definitely.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I
then
got
they
that
don't
too.
pay it off.
Yeah.
Like most things in this
She
movie,
says
they do not pay
something
it off.
like, he's trying hard. He didn't
Yes.
puke or something like that.
But yeah, they
Um,
don't pay that off.
Yeah. So it's only 5 players. They don't even warm up. Their coach is the home ec teacher. They are 0-8 this season. They're 0-8 this season already. Their last loss was
many-
86-0.
How many games? They didn't score a single point the entire
Oh,
year.
my God.
They haven't scored a single point the entire year so far.
That's we'll talk
That's-
about this obviously.
Another
But the
team
fact that
scoring 86 in middle school is, unless you're playing the, future stars of the NBA, it's not happening.
They beat a team for the championship after losing 108-0 to them.
Yep.
108-0.
And if you've ever seen 10-year-olds play basketball, it would take them 4 to 6 hours to get up to 108 points.
They're 14, Bill, so
Yeah,
they're a
they're
little bit older.
13, 14, that area. Well, no, because they're
Yeah, they're 13 or 14, so they'd be in 8th grade, right?
14-year-olds would probably be freshmen.
So 12 and 13-year-olds?
Well, he does
12
say
and 13,
13 at some point also.
He does, yeah.
All right, so
The home
12
ec-
and
I'm
13-year-olds.
assuming 8th grade.
Yeah.
It would take an 8th grade team approximately 3 or 4 games to get to 108 points.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
say that.
What's our highest scoring game? I don't even remember.
I don't know.
60
Maybe.
in 8th grade?
Maybe.
Anyway, so the big ginger center takes a free throw, and it looks like Shaq was his free throw coach because of the air balls.
You mean Fuzzy.
Fuzzy. Yeah, I call him Big Ginger because I didn't catch like
Fuzzy.
most of
They
their
called him
names.
Fuzzy a few times before they let on what they were talking about.
Fuzzy,
Oh, no, maybe the girls say Fuzzy.
I think they do. He's almost as tall as the big kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like when they're never next to each other that much, but when they actually are in frame, like, oh, he's almost as tall as the big kid.
Yeah,
This
we already
is-
have one of those.
We already have a big kid. He's a skilled big man too.
Yeah.
Fuzzy, he knocks
Well,
down
he
that
becomes-
corner jumper.
Then he becomes the guy who shoots the technical free throws.
Yep.
Yes, he's
and
your
also
first guy to
is the
shoot.
defensive stopper.
Fuzzy's an MVP. He's way better than Carl or whatever his name is.
Wes, who I call
Keith.
Sledge.
Keith, I mean.
Oh, Keith is
He's better than
okay,
Keith.
Yeah.
Is that One Love?
No, Keith is the main guy.
The main guy,
kid.
okay.
All right, so none of them can actually play. They lose 56-0 this game. Keith then finds a terrifying picture of Coach Roy in the trophy case in the hallway. And at this point, I still think he's his dad. So I said,
yeah,
Keith finds a terrifying picture of his dad in the hallway.
with the mustache and full mustache in 8th grade.
The team is then hanging out at Keith's house, and they're watching a sports talk show. Was this a real show?
Yes.
Okay, what was it?
They're all real people. That was actually a
Um,
show.
Yeah. Chris Rose, John Sally. What the hell is the name of that show?
Dan, I
John Sally.
was going to say Dan Aykroyd, not Dan Aykroyd.
No. Hold on. You
Was-
probably know it at home.
John Sally was in other shows.
Big Damn Sports Show. Best Damn Sports
Best
Show.
Damn Sports Show,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Best Damn Sports
So
Show.
yeah, they're watching this sports show, and then Roy's on it as a guest. So he says he wants to get back to his roots, and immediately light bulb. Kevin's head or Keith's head. They break into the school
To use
with
the
his
fax
mom's
machine.
keys because she's a teacher there, which we haven't established yet.
He missed 2 free throws. What a useless piece of garbage.
And they fax an offer to Breckenmeyer because one, they have Breckenmeyer's phone number,
How did they get that?
and two, Breckenmeyer doesn't just like laugh this off.
Vet anything?
Yeah.
No, I like when he presents it as a contract offer.
Yeah. So Brecken convinces Roy to do it. They meet Mary, who is Megan Mullally. She's
Oh,
the
they scored
principal.
already.
She talks to Brecken and Roy about the offer that Keith sent him. She has no idea what's going on. She's like,
I don't understand this character. Sometimes I think she's the bad guy of the movie because she's like, ha ha ha, take the shitty bus. Ha ha ha, you're.
She's just trying to be, I think, a realistic principal.
which she is.
I
For-
guess,
for
yeah.
A public middle school, yeah, I'd say she's a realistic principal.
Sometimes she seems like a bad guy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be ecstatic that this dude was at your coach?
Well, that's what she is. And then
Was she? She seemed annoyed by it.
Because she thinks she knows that they've got him by
Yeah.
the
She's
round
like, this is a
ones.
gift. It's someone who can coach basketball
Got-
and is for free.
They
Yeah.
got him by the Lawrences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she takes him up on his offer. Roy's going to coach for free, so Mary agrees, and then she brings him to the team to introduce him to them. The home ec teacher / assistant coach introduces himself. We see Beans, and he throws up on Roy immediately.
And his name is Ralph, which is also another word for barfing.
It sure is.
Oh.
I did pick up on that.
While they have a photographer there to
And that's what we call writing.
to get Roy some good press. So they get a nice picture of Ralphing onto Roy.
Here's something else I'm not a fan of. The
Hmm.
way he's dressed, Martin Lawrence in this
Oh
movie,
my God, the suits!
it makes me disturbed.
Yeah.
Like his suit is 10 sizes too big. It's all untucked. Like he just looks like
It kind of was.
he was fired and
Fashion.
thrown out on the road, like the street, and like didn't have any other clothes.
Kind of was 2000s fashion.
Like
though.
marined on a desert island or something. Yeah, he looks
Oversized
nuts.
is coming back. That's Jenkos are a thing again.
I guess.
So the kids start running a passing drill because they want to impress Roy because he tells them to go start doing drills while he cleans himself up.
Yeah, he handles this very well. He
Yeah.
does not lose his after he gets thrown up on.
They just devolve into throwing basketballs at each other, and one of them throws it and it nails Roy right in the face. And he starts dabbing it with his what's it called, handkerchief. Now has blood on it. One Love for some reason takes the handkerchief from Roy, and then Keith takes it from One Love and starts to smell it.
Kind of weird.
And then that's when his mom, Jeannie, sees from outside the gym, and she thinks that Roy has hit her kid, so she comes rushing in. The kids then say, no, we hit him, and we also threw up on him.
Yeah, we hurt his nose and he threw up on him, and he didn't freak out.
Yeah. He immediately tries hitting on her.
So
yeah,
weird.
so one of the kids like calls him
Immediately.
out on it, and he
Yeah.
turns to the kid, to her son, and goes, "He's not lying."
That, to me, is the line of the movie.
He's not lying.
Coach Roy's hitting on your mom. He ain't lying. Roy is doing an interview, and he's still a dick. The Vikings show up on a personalized bus, like a Greyhound bus.
It's middle school. What are we doing?
Yeah. But they are, what do you say, 9-time state champion?
Yeah, and I like
Okay,
how he
state
says, I didn't know
champions.
that middle school had state championships.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, they do. And I got 9 of them. Patrick Warburton. Love the man.
Patrick Warburton is playing. Oh, this is a real fight. We haven't seen this in the playoffs.
Oh, we got a hockey fight.
This is the only character he knows how to play, or at least he's been typecast as it.
This is
Yeah.
a more aggressive version of him. Usually he's like a subtle
That's true.
dick.
Yeah.
That's true.
When he's playing an actual character, when he's animated,
Oh, they're
then he's
tired.
got some more range. They
Mm.
can do more with him for some reason. I think it's just because of
His face.
how
It's
he
got to be
looks.
his face.
It's his face. Anyways, they come into the gym and Roy leans over to Beans and he's like, "Is there a game today?" Beans is like, "Yeah, that's why we're wearing our uniforms." Patrick Warburton hates Roy because he applied to be his assistant coach like 5 times, but he's won the state championships 9 times.
Oh yeah, he's just, oh boy.
Yep. Roy is
Well,
just watching the
Celtics
game.
will never be good again.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah,
What happened to him?
I don't know.
he's
but they've
Not in a
already
good
lost
way,
this
though.
game, and they've lost the series. Congratulations, Wally.
That's like, it'd be one. He looks like he's crying. That's how bad that looks.
Yeah.
That might be an Achilles tear.
Oh,
Broken
no.
ankle.
An Achilles. That is
That's-
not good.
No, this is very bad.
Where he's holding his ankle, yeah, it's
That's the only reason you'd be crying.
yeah.
Shit.
So Roy's just watching the game. So Jeannie comes up to him and asks if he's going to actually coach. Then we get late call Carl.
Did you like this or not?
I liked him.
I
But
kind of
I
liked
think
him
I just
too.
like this guy.
I
think
liked
just
him
like-
too, and I like that he played a role. Like he came back in the end and did stuff at the
Yeah.
end.
It's fine. Martin Lawerence doing his thing. It's fine.
Roy says, "Man, that was like 10 minutes ago," and the cameras pan to him real quick. They're expecting him to have an outburst. What?
I just saw something terrible about this movie.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no.
Sorry, keep going.
Okay. He calls it.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Roy calls a timeout and then makes fun of the team, so they quickly turn their backs on him.
It's worse.
When would be the best time to mention this?
Never.
Okay.
Or maybe coming up. But
Ooh,
As soon as you introduce,
Oh.
once you introduce the character, then we'll tell you.
this is an off-ball injury. Yeah, that's an Achilles tear.
they just show it.
Yeah, he went to plant and he just went
Ah.
straight down. Yeah,
That sucks. He has 42 points.
And they're still losing.
that sucks. Because as much as I hate Jason Tatum, the man's so good. I
That's
wanna
not how you want to win the
No,
series either.
not at all. Kids quickly turn their backs on Roy. Keith inbounds the ball to the other team, and they lose 109-0. Roy is then watching the sports talk show again, and they're making fun of him, and he's getting pissed about it. Brecken calls him, and he tells him that
Brecken. Why did they name him that? Brecken.
that's definitely a Hollywood name. Like,
Must be.
calls him. He tells Roy that he's got to win with these kids, or he's never going to coach again. Like he's
He
not
has to win
got any
one
offer.
game? Is it one?
He just needs to start. Yeah, win a little bit, like, or you're never going to coach again. Roy has somebody show up to his house and ask for an autograph, so he gives it to him.
Would
But
you
it's
say
actually-
a bad autograph?
This probably
Bad autograph.
This would be a bad autograph because he
Hashtag.
actually signs papers that are terminating his sponsorship and they're taking away his car.
Ouch. I knew it was going to be a
Bad autograph.
repo person.
Yeah.
/ bad autograph.
Yeah, I thought he was getting served with
He
something.
was getting served with something. I did
Yeah.
not know it was a repo, but yes.
He goes to practice and tells them that he's actually going to start coaching them because he wants his old life back. He's like, I'm sick of this. I need to coach these idiots so I can get my old life back. He goes out and immediately recruits Big Mac, the large girl who is a bully to everyone.
Okay, Bill, do you want to take this one?
I don't want to take this one.
No, what did she do?
Big Mac died right after this movie.
Yeah, 16 years old.
Only at 16 years old.
And it just gets worse the more I look into it. Shot to death in front of her home.
By a gang.
She was 16, moved out of her home into a house with her boyfriend who was A, 10 years older than she was. She was 16. B, he was a gang member. C, she was shot and killed in front of her home.
So
In
messed
Inglewood.
up. So messed up.
Jesus.
Every part of that is awful.
Yeah.
Every part of it is awful. And she only this was like her first movie.
Yeah, she had a
Yeah.
couple TV roles from what
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah.
And
That
this.
sucks. Because she was funny in this.
Yeah.
She was. I watched this on YouTube. I didn't watch it on Tubi because
Okay. Tubi commercials.
I don't like. For some reason, they're like, you don't have to sign in, and then they're like, sign in, sign in, sign in, and I never do. I'm like, you told me I didn't have to, so I won't do it, Tubi. I'm good. So on YouTube, I was watching it, and the comments kept popping up of like, so sad. What a sad movie.
No,
I can't
just
believe
saw
that
it now
she.
as like one of the
And
trivia.
so I knew
What?
that bad things had happened to her, which
Oh, boy.
I didn't know they were that bad.
I just
That's
now discovered
awful.
this, and it's terrible.
Oh.
All right.
So he recruits Big Mac to be on the team, and then he sees a very tall 13-year-old who's 6'4", I think he says he is.
6'1".
6'1", okay.
Yes.
Who is in band class, and Jeannie's the band teacher. So Roy goes in to talk to him, tries to convince him to play, and he smooth talks him enough that the kid's like, all right, I'll play. He introduces both of them to the team. The other team shows up, and the coach thinks that Big Mac is the girl who stole his wife's car. I forgot.
That's great. There are some things in this movie that are great.
Yeah.
It's not a great movie, but
It's not a great movie.
that is a great moment.
There are...
And this upcoming moment I liked a lot, where they debut Wes.
Oh, yeah. Roy gives a pep talk to the two new players. And
His
then,
pep talks are terrible, but they always work.
yeah.
They're terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
And then Martin Lawerence shows up as Preacher Don to give the team a pregame prayer. Now, Preacher Don is basically the Cat Williams role.
Yeah, why didn't Cat Williams do this?
Because Martin Lawrence got to be Martin Lawrence.
Maybe they said, like, he can't do it because it's a kid's movie.
As soon as he started walking in, I'm like, that looks like it's Martin Lawrence. And then when they went to hug each other, I'm like, that's not Martin Lawrence's the back
No.
of his head.
No.
That's for sure not him.
When it was close up on his face, I could see, oh, that is Martin
It
Lawrence.
took me a little while with the close up, but when's game 5?
Probably Thursday.
Hopefully it's
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
maybe?
Hopefully it's Wednesday, Bill.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you hope it's Wednesday?
So we can watch it on game night.
Well, you've already won. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
The
you've won
Celtics
now.
cannot win,
You've won officially now with Tatum dead.
even though they have other All-Stars in this roster.
They should be.
And they still are the more talented team.
Right.
They're not going to win. So
So Big Mac wins the tip, and it's the first time they've won the tip since 86. Or no, 82. 1982.
That's insane. Who keeps that stat?
these two girls do.
They weren't born yet.
Yeah, but you know stuff about sports from before you were born.
Not about middle school teams.
Well, your middle school.
No, I couldn't tell you a single thing about
Who was the all-time leading scorer of our middle school basketball team?
Evan Melanson?
It's definitely Evan, but
Okay, I didn't know that, but you did. See,
because he's the only one who could score.
on our team, sure, but for generations before him,
Anyways,
I don't know. I have no idea.
Keith makes a layup, and the entire team runs celebrating to the bench, and they get a technical foul for delay of game. And Roy's like, guys, you can't celebrate every time you score.
They haven't scored a basket in 8 games and maybe ever as a school.
As a team, yeah. Roy then has to sub in. I keep calling him Sledge because he nicknames him the
Sledgehammer,
Yeah.
which is a great part.
Yeah.
Where is it this game?
Yeah,
when
he comes in.
introduces out of
He
the locker room.
keeps saying like Sledgehammer, don't warm up, don't warm up, don't
Yeah.
warm up, and like has this whole thing where everyone should be scared of this big tall guy, but he sucks.
And the
And
other
then
coach sees
eventually
him.
he gets exposed.
Yeah, the other coach sees him and they're like, double team him.
Which leads to open baskets.
For-
Smart, genius
Yeah.
move. I
Yeah.
love this.
I also like Peter Gabriel as he comes in.
Sledgehammer. Yes, Sledgehammer the song,
Yeah.
amazing. Sledgehammer the nickname. Not enough people have that in real life.
That's true.
Yep.
And then just
Because also you could shorten that to Sledge or Hammer, and either way,
yeah,
it works.
double cool fucking nickname. Either way, you want to shorten it. Also, I love the strategy of you got to get a big dumb ugly guy in there.
You need
a big dumb ugly.
Mhm.
Every team's got one.
We had 2 in our middle school team.
Me, I was one of them.
Yeah, you were one of them.
Anyways, the other team finally realized that
We're
he's
gonna
just
make this episode longer in the movie.
really tall and not that good.
It's not a long movie in description because there's like 8 minutes of montage of newspapers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not worth talking about.
Beans then gets subbed in and he throws up. They lose by 45.
hey,
so
but they scored.
Roy makes them do 45 suicides. But then he makes the team a deal.
I wonder
that
if you can still call him that.
I
No.
don't think he can.
They call them like
Sprints.
line touch or something
Yeah.
like that now.
That's stupid. I mean, you want to change the name, fine, but line touch is the best you can come up with.
It's a dumb. I don't know. It's something like that.
he makes a
chopped
deal
him.
with the team to run one himself for every point that they win by. So he'll run a suicide for every point that they win by. But he says it in like an offhand way. Then we get a creepy part. The home ec teacher's like, well, you got to motivate these kids. What is every 13-year-old boy interested in?
Yep.
And a 13-year-old girl walks by with a miniskirt, and it's like, no,
Yep.
no,
This
please
is
don't
very
do this.
weird.
Yep.
Please don't do this.
These are two adult men discussing this.
Yep. So Roy bribes the girls with pizza to come just hang out at the gym during practice.
I will say, when I was in middle school or high school, or maybe even now, if a grown adult who is part of, like, is a known person, not a stranger, said, come to this basketball game, we'll give you free pizza,
You're going.
I would go.
That's fair. Yeah.
Probably do that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like how he says to the home ec teacher, like, this is your job now.
Yeah. You have to keep making pizza.
Which he loves.
He wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Why is he a basketball coach? He just wants to make
volunteered.
pizza.
Yep.
Yeah. He think he was just the one that got stuck with it.
So the girls keep showing up to practice, and then
Calipari.
Roy then subs the green half of the team
Calipari.
off the court, and he plays defense, like 4-on-1 against the kids. He's trying to get Keith to pass because Keith is the best, and he just dribbles it. He stuffs him like 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I love this. I love adults just beating up on kids in basketball.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic.
I love it.
Block him every time.
Every time.
So Roy starts being a good coach finally. Then he says, talking is important, and the team's not talking, so he turns the lights off so they can't see each other, and now they have to communicate.
Ball.
Yeah. Roy's a bit harder on Keith than the other kids, and Keith finally gets angry about it and calls him out on it. And Roy tells him that, you got potential. I'm just trying to get the best out of you kind of speech. And Jeannie happens to overhear it, so she's starting to like Roy now. Big Mac gets a letter that she's academically ineligible, and Roy decides that he's going to have Sledge tutor her. Sledge is terrified of her, but Roy convinces him anyways, and Big Mac puts Sledge in a locker.
He kind of puts himself in a locker before she can do it.
Yeah. Roy then has to drive the team bus to...
I will say she cracked her knuckles enough that it was making me uncomfortable.
A lot of cracking.
Yeah.
Roy has to drive the team bus to the away game, and it's a broken down old piece of short bus, which I've driven one of those short buses. They are not fun at all.
There's a joke there, but I'm going to let it go.
Thanks. They got a flat tire on the way, so he has to change the tire.
Oh,
but
they did it
he's
again.
yelling to the gods about having to change the tire, and the kids come out and they already say, are you going to help us or not? So, oh damn, 2-0.
And this is after the goal they're having this tussle.
It's a different game with a different tussle?
No, same game.
Same game, different tussle.
Um,
Usually you don't see it after a goal, though. Usually after a goal, you go your separate ways.
yeah. So they get the tire fixed. One Love stays on the bus the entire time because he doesn't want to get his shoes. The whole
Everything about this kid annoyed me the entire
Yeah,
movie.
he's-
He does not get redeemed in my mind.
He's all about his image and like looking cool.
And he calls himself One Love.
Yeah. So before the game, Roy talks to One Love about forgetting about his image and to actually start playing. He gives him a ratty old pair of sneakers that he tells him he got from Magic Johnson, which
Is a lie.
no way.
But this is going to at least be a good payoff at the end. This scene
yeah.
in these shoes is going to be a big payoff.
Was there?
No, there's no payoff at all.
Yeah.
They set this up for no reason.
He talks about them one more time.
Yeah. But there is no moment at the end where we get the, it was all you the whole time. I just told you that to refocus your mind.
Or you were right. Here's Magic Johnson at the end of this movie.
Yep. Nope. Nothing.
So Patrick Warburton and his son are at this game as well because they're scouting the next best team there,
Yep.
which is surprising because The son then notices Big Mac and he says, "Girls can't play." And she hears him, comes over and pops him right in the face.
I do like how Martin Lawerence says something like, "Oh, shouldn't have said that." He just like walks away.
Jeannie then apologizes to Roy because she heard his speech to her son. And he tries hitting on her again. This time she's kind of into it. The Smelters are actually playing kind of good, but they aren't keeping their hands up on defense.
Ugh.
So Roy puts some icy hot on their pits, and now everybody is keeping their hands up, including the crowd.
The thing that grossed me out the most of this was Martin Lawerence reaching into all these tweens'
pits.
kids'
Yeah.
armpits.
Yeah, gross.
Is this some kind of abuse?
Yeah.
It's also just why would you want to put your hands in there?
You gotta get them to work on
It's
defense.
gross on multiple levels. Oh, they're both in the box?
The big ginger kid misses a free throw again, but Keith gets the rebound, draws 2 defenders, so he passes to One Love for a layup. Roy calls a timeout and tells them they're playing basketball now. They're down only 1 point. Sledge somehow steals the inbound and scores a layup to win by 1.
Because he's a monster, and they just throw it at him.
This is the team's first win in 12 years. They win by 1, and then they won't get on the bus until Roy does 1 suicide. So he does.
I like that. Paying
Okay.
it off.
Then we got a montage of newspaper clippings of the team winning games. Now they're not losing ever.
Also, what junior high team has a basketball season that goes, 40 games?
Yeah.
None. And why are so many newspapers covering them?
I don't know. That's why I was
'Cause,
thinking maybe
'cause
it's just these 2 girls writing articles.
Coach
but-
Roy. It's Coach Roy. That's why.
You maybe get a couple. But I feel like we're living the Coach Roy right now. We've got Bill Belichick at North Carolina. This is how it actually would go. He's married to this weird young person, and
Who I
this
just
is
saw placed 3rd in Miss Maine, which I'm sure great. But
3rd.
place
In Maine?
In Maine.
Oh.
Last year she was, I think I read she was 2nd place last year and dropped a spot this year
That's what happens when you.
in this
You date Bill Belichick?
Yeah.
Why is she not
known
winning?
paradise of Maine.
Um,
I wonder if onions beat her out.
the team is now destroying Roy's basement.
Probably.
With games and snacks and stuff. We see some googly eyes between Big Mac and Sledge. Then we got a scene where she gets a C+ on her math test and celebrates with him, and they're kind of canoodling under a tree. And then she goes beats up a kid for making fun of the 2 of them.
And
But
then
then it goes back to canoodle again.
she steals his skateboard, and then he's like, "Oh, is that for me?" And she's
like,
like, "No, it's for me." I like that.
She might be my MVP.
Oh, that's a really tough question. I have not put any thought into it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't either.
The home ec teacher then makes the cheerleaders' uniforms. The kids are winning their first playoff game when the ref makes a bad call. Roy starts yelling at him, but Jeannie then distracts him so he doesn't get a technical.
555.
555 with her phone number, and he doesn't understand what's going on, and she's like, "It's my phone number." So he gets thoroughly distracted while the team keeps playing, and they win while he's writing her phone number down.
Yeah.
They go to a restaurant after the game.
He wears sweatpants, or is that not this date?
Not
I don't
yet.
know.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
They go to a restaurant after the game, and a girl tries to talk to Sledge, but he runs away. So the other 2 boys start talking to her, and Roy's like, "Man, he calls Sledge over, and he tells him you can't keep running away from girls." And he's like, "Well, truth be told, I kind of have a girlfriend." And Big Mac shows up, and he's like, Roy's like, "You don't have to lie to me." Big
Yeah.
Mac's like, "No, coach, he's got a girlfriend." And Roy's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay."
Oh, it's you two.
Because she also says, if you ever talk to her again, I'll kill you or something like that.
Roy goes to pick up Jeannie, and he's in sweatpants now. And they have dinner in the backyard. She's kind of getting into him.
Yeah.
Now it's day of the championship. They've somehow made their way to the championship round. It's against Patrick Warburton, of course. The Eagles, I think. Vikings, whatever. But Breckin Meyer shows up to Roy's house, and he tells him, you got your NCBA review at 4. The championship game's at 5. You'll have plenty of time. Which I don't care where you are.
No.
If you have a meeting at 4 and you have to be somewhere else at 5, you're not making that something else.
It's not a smart move by him.
No. So he goes to the NCBA review. He's waiting inside for a while. Brecken's outside. Jeannie calls Roy's phone, which he's left in the car. So Brecken answers, and he's slimy douchebag manager saying, no, he's getting his real life back. He doesn't care about those kids. So she gets pissed. The NCBA finally comes in. They tell Roy that he's got his team back. He's in. He just has to sign some papers. They're smug jerks about the kids. They think it's all a show. He's just using the kids, and he's like, no, I like these kids now. I've grown a heart. So Roy doesn't like how they're talking about him. He declines their offer and rushes out and tries to get to the game.
What a fucking waste of time. Why would you even bother with this, Martin Lawerence?
Yeah. The game has already started, and the team's kind of falling apart when Keith draws a foul or he gets fouled or something. And he's on the ground, and Roy shows up, and he helps Keith up. Jeannie is currently leaving him an angry voicemail.
Yeah.
Then she finally realizes, after the crowd has been going nuts for Roy for 2 minutes, she finally realizes he's there. So
He's still pretty late.
yeah, she apologizes on the voicemail and says, "Oh, you're here. Bye." Let's see. Roy calls time, and he lifts each of the kids up, telling them how much they've grown and stuff like that. And he tells them to just go out there and have some fun on the court. Sledge gets fired up, immediately blocks 2 shots, and looks like a beast inside the
Yeah,
paint.
what happened to him?
He actually knows how to play now. So, Big Ginger hits a 4-point play. Vikings go down. They hit a 3-pointer.
Yes, those airballing free throws is now their best free throw shooter.
Yep, because he was hitting that Papa shot.
He's a baller.
Yeah.
He was hitting the Papa shot in Coach Roy's basement.
Hell yeah.
But so he hits a 4-point play. Then the Vikings go down. They hit a 3-point shot and go up by 4 points. Keith gets called for a charge by slow call Carl, and it looks like Roy's about to lay into him. He's going to lose his mind. But instead, he goes up to Carl and he says, "You know what, man, you're doing a good job." Carl loves it.
This is the part that made me actually laugh. Is not
Slow call, Carl.
is slow call when he starts talking about Daddy never gave me pats on the back, but then when he finally tees up the
Patrick
other guy,
Warburton.
he's patting himself on the back as he
gives
does.
Yes,
himself
yes.
a pat on the back.
He's doing
I
the
like
selfie.
this.
You're doing a good job.
I like this a little bit. I think they could have gone further with this.
Yeah. So yes. So it goes out 4 points. Carl thanks him and then hits Patrick Warburton with a tech. And now Big Ginge steps up to the line. He hits his 2 free throws. They're down by 2. The Vikings hit another shot to go up by 4 again. So Roy calls a timeout. Keith's like, "I know what you're going to say. You can tell me to pass it." He's like, "No, I'm going to tell you to go out there and just trust yourself." So Keith goes out.
Thanks, new dad.
He hits a big 3, and then he steals the inbounds pass, passes it back out to Beans, who takes a shot as time expires, but he gets blocked.
There's no fucking way Beans is making this shit.
He gets blocked. They lose the game, but the Vikings go celebrating, everybody except for slow call Carl is moving around. He's just
Meandering.
stationary, looking at the play.
He's going to make a call.
Finally blows his whistle.
Yeah.
After the Vikings have started celebrating, Patrick Warburton has his son up on his shoulder,
And drops him.
Throws him. Yeah, launches him.
He throws him.
Beans gets 2 free throws. He makes the first one. He just has to make the second one in their state champions. There's really no slow motion at this point. He just sinks the second free throw.
He's
They win the state championship.
afraid of everything. He throws up before every game. It's the highest pressure situation. He clearly cannot shoot a shot at all.
Yep.
This is the worst on-film basketball team I've ever seen.
I mean,
None of
Teen
them-
Wolf was real bad.
None of them are actually good at any of this. Are you kidding me? Teen Wolf had like 35 rebounds in that game.
Yeah, but the rest of the team has, including Michael J. Fox, have never touched a basketball.
Yeah. So they win the championship. Jeannie kisses Roy, and the kids dump Gatorade on them. The team's walking down the hall at school, all wearing cool sunglasses. Roy comes out of the
Are they cool, or are they just sunglasses?
the guidance counselor office, because he's now apparently the guidance counselor of this place. And he puts on his sunglasses too, and they're all walking down the hall, and the home ec teacher opens the door right into Roy's face.
It was a callback.
It was a clawback because who
Oh.
got smacked in the face? Oh, it was Big Ginge.
Yeah, with a cake or something.
Yeah, he was putting on pounds for the season. But
Cultivating mass. I get it.
Cultivating mass.
I've been cultivating mass for years.
I have all the mass I can handle.
so that's what the fuck's his name? Rebound,
Whoa. language.
2005.
Whoa, I don't think it was what the fuck is this? I don't think that was the
I
name.
could not remember.
Rebound, Martin Lawerence. It's fine. Quote Mountain.
Let me look up some of the quotes because I don't
not
remember
many.
of them.
Well, you said you had one.
it was
You
probably-
were gonna make this easy on us.
Yeah. Oh, it's not on here though. It was Coach Roy's checking out your mom. He ain't
He ain't
wrong.
lying. Or
But
he ain't wrong. Yeah.
He ain't lying. No, yeah, you're right. He ain't lying.
All right, that's quote Mountain.
Yep.
All right, good.
We've got it. MVP.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams because he didn't
Oh.
say anything.
Cat Williams was in the crowd during the championship game.
Yes.
And that was it.
Yep.
Did we talk about that?
Nope. That's
Before-
all.
we talked about it before the show.
There it is. That's us talking about it. He was in the crowd.
Hmm.
For me, it's either Big Mac or Patrick Warburton,
Not the mom.
not the mom.
Not the principal.
No,
Nah,
no. All right,
Not Martin Lawrence.
Big Mac.
Big Mac. All
Okay.
right.
That'll work.
Here's fact. Weird fact. There's a joke about him being fired and going to DeVry University.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Remember the commercials about that? He says they don't have a basketball team, but they actually do have a basketball team. They do have a
Really?
basketball team.
I thought
Yeah,
Everybody's
they
got
were
a
an
basketball
online
team.
school.
it says they have a basketball team on this. Maybe this is a joke.
No, I bet you they do. There's like 400 college basketball teams.
I could have swore that was an online school though.
So did I.
Um,
Could be a wrong fact. Maybe IMDb's steering me wrong.
yeah. Any other facts?
No,
Trivia?
no,
Nothing?
nothing good. I
No.
looked through it. Okay. We have to rate this thing.
Yeah.
So what do you rate it, Bill? I feel like you hated it the most, even more than Wally.
It wasn't bad. It just was not good. There's nothing good about it.
So rate it low so he has one in the bottom, please.
1.1?
It is
that?
not
It's
that.
not that. It's not that. I'm stuck between 3 and 4.
I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I feel like it's not even that bad.
I'll go high and say 4.
So you think this is exactly as good as She's the Man?
Yeah.
3.8.
That's fair.
It's 3.8 in that perspective.
4.1.
It
So it's slightly better than She's the Man.
It's slightly worse than She's the Man.
is. It is slightly better than She's the Man.
Disagree.
So I will give it a 4.4.
4.4. This thing's going to be way too high.
Wow.
That's why, because now it's 4.1.
Well, you had to do
Yeah, I
that.
know.
Cook the books. He's cooking the books.
Of course he's cooking the books.
He's cooking the books. Where does that? What's around it?
4.1 out of 10. We've got 4.1 for Airbud.
Wow. That needs to be a 9 because that brought me a lot of entertainment.
4.0 for She's the Man.
Sure.
It's worse than that.
Let's go
It was
to the re-rank squad. 4.1 for Necessary Roughness. Which one is that? Scott Bakula?
Scott
Yeah,
Bakula.
This was
was-
better than that.
Scott Bakula is better than this.
No, Scott Bakula was not better than
Not
this.
good, but it's better than this.
No.
You know
4.0
what I think. Bakula for life.
4.0 for Teen Wolf as well.
This is worse than Teen Wolf.
This is not worse than Teen Wolf.
Teen
It is.
Wolf is
Again,
better.
Teen Wolf is not good.
Teen Wolf's good.
is not a basketball movie either.
It's
It's-
about a wolf playing
It is
basketball.
a basketball movie. It's not a good basketball movie, but it is.
Thank you. At least I turned one of you.
But your other movies are not.
Get out of here.
Uncut Gems, not a basketball movie.
Not a
They
basketball
play
movie.
The entire plot is around a basketball.
The bowling movie is not a bowling movie.
If Kevin Garnett doesn't get
Big
the
Lebowski
gem,
is
Big
not.
Lebowski is not a bowling
not a
movie.
bowling
yes, it's about bowling.
No, it's not. It is about a
about
kidnapping,
nihilism?
a fake kidnapping, a nihilism.
It's about bowling. Let's roll. The whole thing is about bowling.
Oh God!
All right. Next movie is Bill, and it is.
Bad news, gentlemen.
Can't find
I
anything.
looked up 15 movies that I had on my list.
Jesus Christ.
3 of them are available to watch right now. The one I originally was going to pick is a full-on Disney movie, and after this, I feel like I need to go in a different direction.
Why?
Hurtful.
Then there's another Disney movie, which I also didn't want to do. And then I found one that is not exactly a Disney movie, but I think it's on Disney Plus and or Hulu.
Wow.
Okay.
We'll be watching a movie from 1998.
Good year.
It's a football movie.
Good sport.
We'll be watching, not a good movie, The Waterboy.
Oh.
Which, if I
watched The
remember correctly,
Waterboy.
has
Adam
good
Sandler.
lines in it.
We never watched The Waterboy.
We didn't watch The Waterboy for.
We watched The Longest Yard for the other show.
But there is a wrestler in it,
Yeah.
Captain Insano. But we didn't watch it, did we?
I don't think we ever did Waterboy.
I thought.
Look it up, because if we did, I can
What,
change
um,
it. I didn't think we did.
Who is
though.
it? Big Show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
I don't think we ever
watched
did it.
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle all the way.
Yeah, I didn't think we had watched this.
No, definitely not. We
So
never
we
got.
will be watching.
We're closing a loop here.
What loop are we closing?
We're loop Adam Sandler in wrestling movies.
Yeah, we are reconnecting some dots.
All
Here.
right. All right. We're out of here.
Wait, what is The Waterboy on?
Disney.
It's on
And
Hulu.
Hulu.
And possibly Disney Plus.
Okay.
Did we
Water
confirm?
sucks.
Are you confirming that?
It really, really sucks.
It says it's on.
I remember thinking The Waterboy was good when I was a kid, but
I remember there's at least lines that I enjoy.
you hated it from then, or just like recently, or like
I don't
just
hate
recent?
it. I just think it's an Adam Sandler movie in that
I like Vicky and she
there'll be
likes me
some funny
back.
things and some really stupid things.
All right.
And
Well,
she showed me her boobies and I like them too.
that's in Waterboy.
That's in Waterboy.
Wow, he
Uh,
says boobies in Waterboy.
The coach is
Is
Henry Winkler, right?
Yes.
Fonz. All right. We good? Did we cover all the bases? I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. We're done. We'll see you next time. Peace out.
Ding ding.
What a boy. What?